Out about the Veterans Affairs scandal. House lawmakers getting set now to vote on a bill that would give VA Secretary Eric Shinseki more power to actually fire people. Joining me now, the chair of the House Veterans Affairs Committee, Republican Congressman Jeff Miller of Florida. Congressman, great to have you. Lightning round here because we have so much to get through with you. First of all, your reaction to what the president said today.
Too little, too late. I wish the president would have come out a little more forcefully 3 weeks ago. I think the thing he should have done today was probably come out and said he was going to use his famous pen for an executive order that would allow for those who are backlogged and wait times to see physicians to go out into the private sector and be able to get the health care that they've earned.
All right, so I know now that the House is going to vote, you've already been discussing it tonight, on this bill that would allow people in the VA to actually fire people like they do in the real world, in the private sector. Is it going to pass?
Well, it will pass, and it'll pass with a broad bipartisan vote. But let me kind of set the stage. There's 330,000 employees within the Department of Veterans Affairs. This deals with about 430 senior executive level people to give the secretary the ability to fire them if they don't do their job or they're poor performers.
Now, I understand I have in my hands right now a letter that you wrote today to Secretary Shinseki. You do not believe, or you're starting to suspect, that the VA under his direction has no intention of fully complying with the subpoena that you put before them about 2 weeks ago. Why?
Well, there's no question. We were told last week that they would begin to give us the information that we were asking for in a rolling pattern, and gave us a list of how they prioritize the people that they wanted to present to us. That's not acceptable. The subpoena was very narrowly crafted. And on Monday morning, they gave us 201 emails after 30 people had been working for 9 days. We got 201 emails. We were supposed to get the next group of emails last night by close of business, and today we've yet to receive the second grouping. I don't believe they want to cooperate. They're slow rolling.
All right. The president also went on today saying that he's going to wait and see how some of these investigations pan out before he does anything else further, I guess. Do we have time to wait? And don't we already have proof that some of the things have actually happened?
There's no questions that veterans have died while waiting for care at the Department of Veterans Affairs. By their own admission, they have 23 preventable deaths, and of those 23, 6 of them were in Columbia, South Carolina, and Augusta, Georgia, where veterans died waiting on colonoscopies. We don't have time to wait. That's why the president should have come forward and said, we need to open the gates, allow the backlog that exists out there by veterans not being able to get health care within the walls of the VA system.
Right.
Give them the ability to go out into the private sector.
Okay, one final question for you. It's my understanding the chief of staff came to the Hill today and met with Sanders, Senator Sanders, who has a similar role that you do as far as being on a veterans committee. Why didn't he meet with you?
I have not heard a word from the chief of staff. Senator Sanders held a hearing last week on the Hill with the secretary, and I'm trying very hard not to bring politics into this, but when the White House is only communicating with the Democrats, it makes you wonder who's playing politics.
Congressman Miller, keep us apprised as to what happens and if you get a response to that letter that you sent to Secretary Shinseki and the subpoena. Thanks much.
Thank you, Gretchen.
Want to go to work as an FBI agent?